Welcome, guys, to another episode of It's Your Kitchen. First and foremost, I always have to just give a hi to all of my followers, starting from Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, St. Martin, Guyana, Suriname, Rhode Island, Florida, Memphis, Arkansas, California, Oregon, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Suriname. I think I said Suriname. Also, the Netherlands, and of course, England. Guys, I would love to welcome you back. Again, please share and tag. Today, I'll be doing a very simple thing. I will be making apple pie with a little hint of twist, with my own little twist in there. All right. But if you want to make it much easier for yourself, you can get the store-bought crust. Now and then I always will do it as well. But today I'm actually going to make my crust from scratch, my pie crust from scratch. So if I leave out any ingredients or not mention how much I use, don't worry. I will definitely post it with this video. Also, please share, tag, comment, everything. And as well, with this video, please just click the notification bell and you will be updated in all of my new shows that I have. So subscribe by clicking the notification bell. All right. Again, guys, we're going to jump right into this. Okay. Right here, I have in my bowl is about 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. This is for making the pie crust. All right. Then I also do have here, though if you can see them in there, I have 1 teaspoon of granulated white sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. You know me, I love my sea salt. All right. Okay. If you like, you can make it also 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, but I just like that little extra hint of sweetness as well. You would also need 1 stick of cold and firm butter. If you can, I'm going to be using unsalted butter. If I had salted butter, then I would leave the 1/2 teaspoon of salt out of it. But I have unsalted butter. So I will be using 1 stick of butter and about 5 to 6 tablespoons of ice cold water. All right. As well, for my apple pie filling, did not go out and get any apples or anything, so I'm gonna cheat a little bit. Hey, life's supposed to be easy, you know. Make it easy in the kitchen for you. What I do have here, you don't have to get this brand, but whatever brand you find. This right here is apple for apple pie, the apple pie filling. If you can see that right there. But you can get whatever you find. If you find raspberry, cherry filling, go ahead and use it. But today I'm using, I'm going to be doing apple pie. And for putting in my own little twist in there, I will be adding in, okay, right here, if you can see it, 1.5 teaspoon of grounded clove, and 1/4 teaspoon of allspice. So I'm just going to be adding this. Once I open my apple filling, I'll just mix those inside of that and then just put it inside of the pie crust and then pop it in the oven. All right. So what these will be for a little later on. The pie crust, it will have, I don't have a saran wrap, so I'm going to use a Ziploc bag. Once you make the pie crust, I will place it in the refrigerator. In the refrigerator, and it should get a little bit more, firm it up a little, because the pie crust tends to be a little temperamental. All right. So I'm going to place that in the refrigerator and let that dough basically set for about maybe a half hour to about an hour. But if you make more than you have to, don't worry. You can store it in your refrigerator until you also is ready to make another pie. All right. So guys, and of course, if you do have a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not coming to me, but food processor. Well, this is my food processor. All right, I don't have a big, I try not to keep my counters fill up with a lot of those equipments. And this is the top, which is the motor part. So this will just go on top of this, and it does the job just as well. All right. Some will call this a chopper, food processor, but this is my little handy mixer right there. All right. So what we're going to get started, I'm going to put you right back here. I'm going to add in the 2.5 cups of flour in here. Also remember, guys, what I always said, always have your hands washed and cleaned before handling any food. Even if you're making it just for yourself, wash your hands. All right. So I'm going to just place the flour in my little trusty food processor. So by the way, once I'm doing this, how is everyone doing? How are you guys doing? So far I'm doing great. Keeping myself safe and healthy as possible. All right. Okay, now I'm just gonna put in the half a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of sugar. Again, guys, remember I'm using salt because I have unsalted butter. All right, and this crust, you can make it for anything if you like. If you want to make quiche or any type of maybe some casserole or what have you with a crust, you can use this recipe as well to get it a little bit more savory. You can add maybe maybe about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt additional. You can pop in some parsley, some herbs or what have you. But that's if you're doing like a casserole or what. But pie, this is the pie crust for pie. So for the pie I'm making today. All right. Okay, once that's all in there, okay, I'm just gonna pop the cover right back on. And I'm just going to mix this, pulse it for a few. Get all of that power, all of that there. Okay. Yes. Always getting it lined up. All right. Okay. Put my cover on here. Sometimes it gets a little temperamental, but don't worry about it. All right. So just pop it. Just give it a little pulse, just to get everything incorporated. Okay, that should be it. I'll place this aside. Stay with me. I'm not going anywhere. Just gonna grab my butter. All right. I have here 1 stick of unsalted butter. I'm gonna say, oh my goodness, that's a lot of butter. But guys, it's gonna make a great pie crust. All right. And it's gonna be nice and flaky. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cut it in half, and then cut the half in half, and then cut it in cubes. All right. So it's very firm. What I did, just to help me out a little, I pop it into my freezer for about maybe, I would say, about 5 minutes, just to give it that extra firmness. All right. Okay. And if you like, instead of doing it this way, leave it in, pop it into the freezer for about 5-10 minutes. I would say 5 minutes, and then just get your grater, and you can grate it also. Okay. So I try to do it try to do it as quick as possible, because butter, once it hits room temperature, it's gonna get soft, and you don't want that for the pie crust. Okay, get that off of there. Yes, paste this here. So now I'm just gonna bring over my processor back, and I'm just gonna place now the butter inside. And that's it. And I'm going to pulse it until you get a nice, almost like a grainy texture. All right. Pop this right here. It's going to be like a nice grainy coarse kind of texture. So almost like little pebbles, of just grainy pebbles, All right. Just got to wash the hand because was touching the butter. All right. Now I'm gonna pop the cover back on. Ooh, come on. There we go. I've had this for about almost 3 years now. Okay. And then just place it. Give it a check there. Yes, perfect. It is like a nice grainy texture. I'm just taking it also from the sides, because some of it does get on the side and you want all of that beautifulness. All right. So I'm gonna just step away for a few seconds to get my ice cold water. And guys, yes, ice cold water. All right. So I'm going to place in this about, let me show you. I'm sorry. All right. This is basically the texture that you're looking for. All right. So I'm going to place in about 5 tablespoons of ice cold water. You know what? I'm going for 6. All right. Sometimes you don't want it to be too the dough to be too pasty either, because then it's not like bread dough. You add more flour, you add that, it's not like that. Okay, let's give it a pulse. If you can hear the speed of my of the motor is starting to slow down, because it's combining inside. You hear that? It's like, let me stop. And once you take out the dough, and if you squeeze it and it stays together, you're good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna show you another trick that I do, basically to avoid flour mess or what have you on your countertop. I'm gonna grab some wax paper, and I'm gonna form it. I'm going to also grab a saran wrap as well while I'm here. But don't worry, don't get scared. I'm still here. I'm still there with you. That is for sure. Okay, place my saran wrap right here. Okay, so I basically have now my wax paper. I place it on the counter. Okay, pop this open here for, yes. Oh, this is beautiful. The thing is also, you want to try not to knead your dough too much. Because remember, as I said, pie crust tends to be a little temperamental. All right. And just going to just dump it right on to the wax paper. It's going to look crumbly, guys, but don't worry. Don't worry. Because remember, as I said, it has to go in the refrigerator. If you want your pie crust for your pies to have that extra little thing, make it your own. Maybe you can add in some maybe like a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon as well. Okay, you see how this is? Don't know if you can see it. If I can turn it's just a little tacky, but not too tacky. Place the camera down a little so you can see it right here. As you can see how it is. So I'm just putting it all, forming it all together, but I am not kneading it. Okay? It is crumbly. You see, it is crumbly. So don't worry about that. Once it gets in the refrigerator, it will firm up. Okay? See all of this part here? This is all the juicy, nice parts. Don't let this go. See, once you squeeze it, it forms into that ball. So that means you're good to go. Because this dough will come out really nice and flaky. Okay, since I'm making an apple pie, I will need 2 pieces. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try my best to separate them equally. If not, it's not going to kill you. All right. So more or less just eyeball it to make sure you have 2 nice sizes, because these will be going in the refrigerator and it's going to get nice and firmed up. Okay, as you can see, I am not kneading it. Okay, you want to keep, you see all of this on the plate? You want to hold on to that morsel. All right. Grab just a little to get my hands here. All I did a few minutes ago, I'm sharing everything with you. I just dab my hand in a little water, just to, like almost like a little glue kind of form. So I also can pick up all of those little fine little morsels, you know. All right. So I'm just gonna just form it into like basically like a little disc, you know, basically like that. And who would believe this is your pie crust? Take this one as well. Again, please try your best. Do not knead it, because the palm of your hand while kneading it is going to start to melt the butter. Okay. I'm just pressing it down. And again, I'm going to leave this in the refrigerator for about maybe a half hour to an hour. And then once it's all nice and firmed up, then we'll come right back and continue our process. All right. Oh, I should have taken 2 of them. I took 1. All right. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to place the crust inside a Ziploc bag. If you have saran wrap, please use. All right. So I will place it like this. Try to get as much of the air out. Okay, and just fold it. Get all of the air out. And just press it in. And that's it. And this again will go into the refrigerator. See? Now I got some air in there. I don't want any air inside of that. I want no air in there. Turn it. Yes, all of the air is out. And now just gonna crimp it in. Seal the Ziploc bag. Okay, perfect. Perfect. All right. And there you go. I'm going to get another one and do the same thing. And again, I'm going to place it in the refrigerator for once again, a half hour to an hour. And once it's all firmed and chilled perfectly, I'm going to take it out. I'm not going to get rid of this wax paper because that's another trick I've seen done. So I do use that trick by getting 2 of wax papers, place the dough in the center, and then you take your rolling pin and you just roll it. Less flour, less mess on your counter. But guys, I will see you back in a few minutes, well, about a half hour to an hour, and then we will start putting together our apple pie. All right, so stay tuned, guys. Guys, I left, if you can see, I will have it here to show you, the pie crust dough. I let it stay in the refrigerator for about an hour. All right. In my mixing bowl here, I have the canned apple pie filling. All right. As you can see right in there. As you remember from the beginning, I said I'm going to do my own little twist. I'm going to add some grounded clove and also some allspice. Yeah, I nipped my finger, so that's why I have that there. All right. So I'm going to just place in some of the cloves, the grounded cloves. I would say about maybe a quarter of a teaspoon or so, because it's a really strong scented spice. So we'll add in about a quarter teaspoon. But again, guys, don't worry. I will have it all posted with the exact ingredients and everything for you. All right. And I will do the same for a quarter teaspoon of the allspice. All right. Right in there. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give this a quick mix. And then we're going to head right over for actually rolling out our pie dough, our pie crust, to start getting it ready for the oven. All right. Okay. So let me get my spatula here and just mix these ingredients right in here. Always love my rubber curved spatula. All right. So I'm just going to just mix this in, the grounded cloves and the allspice in there. Again, that's my own little take in there, you know. Okay. Then I will just set this aside, and then we're going to go right into doing the pie crust. All right. So I'm going to set this aside. Bear with me. All right. Now the trick, instead of having a mess all over the place, you know, what I will definitely do, instead of adding flour or what have you, I have 2 pieces of wax paper. I will set the first one down. All right. Get my rolling pin here for you. Trusty rolling pin. All right. I will take one of my pie crusts. It's really nice and firm in here. So, okay. Place these aside here. Want to just, oh yeah, perfect. Nice and firm. So I'm going to take my other wax paper, place it right over. And I'm just gonna just easily just roll it out. Now this is basically that you don't actually use flour. All right. Yes, perfect. It's coming out. I should leave it a little while longer to get a little room temperature. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave it set for a little for the room temperature. It will be much smoother to actually roll out. All right, so stay tuned. Set for a few minutes to get a little room temperature before rolling out, because in the beginning I took it out of the refrigerator, forgot my own step. And I just wanted to start rolling, but that will make it start to actually come apart. So you just want to let it set for a while. And as you can see, I've started rolling, and it's rolling pretty good. All right, and I'm gonna do this until maybe I get to the size of my pie dish. All right, and then we're gonna start putting everything together. Don't know if you can see it. Let's raise it up a little. You can see it right here. It's forming. All right. So I'm just gonna continue doing this until I get it to the size that I want to fit in my pie dish. All right. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, guys. All right. Don't go anywhere. Here we go, guys. I've actually, excuse me, rolled it out, and it's a pretty nice size. What I'm trying to do is just basically see if I can get it at least an inch wider than my pie dish. All right. Again, if you guys don't want to go through all of this making the pie dough or what have you, by all means, go to the supermarket. You can definitely use the pre-made pie crust, and just make it your own. Add your few little things like what I did with the ground cloves and allspice. You can do your own thing. If you want to do it with apple, cherry, raspberry, blackberry pie, whatever pie you want to do, go right ahead. Pumpkin pie. If you do the pumpkin pie, you would need only one layer. All right. Okay. As you can see, I'm going different ways here. So now what I'm going to try to do, let's take a look. About an inch apart away from the pan. Perfect. Okay. So before I add it to the pan, just as an extra precaution, what I always do, I will just make grease inside with some butter. You want it to come up very easily. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grease it up. I'm going to actually start up my oven, preheated to 350 degrees. And then we're going to start putting everything together. All right. Guys, welcome back. Sorry about that. Had a little technical difficulty there. What I did, I'm going to repeat it for you. I took basically the pie crust from the wax paper. I placed the pan on top of it and I just flipped it around. Then what I did was I just trimmed the edges around. I placed the pie in. Remember not to press it down. Just leave it fall as it may. All right? If you do get a crack in there, don't get scared. Don't panic. Don't worry about it. You just take a piece up and you just stick it back together. It's a little forgiving with that. All right? So as you can see what I have right here. So what I'm going to do, sorry about that little noise passing by. I'm going to take the edges right here and just place it, fold it under. That will give you that little extra little nice pie, that little pie crust end part. All right. And you just fold it in. All right. I saved my wax paper because I'm going to repeat the whole process again for the top part of the pie. All right. I have here a little bit too much, so just peel that off right there and just crimp it right under. crimp it, fold it, however you like to say it. All right. Again, you make it your own. It does not have to be a professional looking pie, crust, or what have you. If you want a professional one, then I would say head over to the supermarket and buy the pie crust that's already made, you know, but you're making your own here and it's your kitchen. So no one can say how to tell you how to actually do it. All right. Got some excess pie crust here, just fold it right under. All right. Okay. And that's your pie crust, the bottom part. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to repeat the same process with the other pie for the other pie crust for the topping. And once we return back, then we're going to fill it up. Pop it in the oven. The oven is preheated at 350 degrees. All right. And then what I like to do before putting it in, maybe a little egg wash. And then just sprinkle some either granulated white sugar or some little brown sugar to give that little extra sweetness again. All right. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, guys. I've just finished rolled out the top part of the pie crust. I just basically just roll it out like this. Okay, so now what I will actually do, I will just peel this one. Oops, get it right here. And just peel this one just like this. And as you can see, oops, some of the wax paper tore. But don't worry about it. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's your kitchen. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my pie dish with the bottom part, and also the apple pie, the apple mixture, and we're gonna assemble everything for you. All right, so don't go anywhere. All right, guys, I have my filling right here. I'm just gonna pour it right inside. Oh, it looks so good. Now, at the end part, I will inform you how many minutes it took me to actually, for the total baking time. I will let you know because it all varies from everyone's oven. Everyone's oven is different. Okay, get all of that good morsels in there. Get in there. All in there. All right. But I will let you know the total of minutes. But for me, I always use almost like an eyeball kind of thing, in a sense of, let's rest this right here. I always will, oops, sorry for this little noise. All right, and just spread it around in there. Everyone's oven is definitely and totally different. Okay. But for me, as I said, what I will do is just basically check to see how, get it a nice golden brown. All right. So after this, just spread this up, get all of that in there like that and like that. All right. And just keep spreading it around. And now I'm going to just basically place the top on at the top. Okay, place this here aside. Now I'm going to roll this onto my rolling pin. Okay, going to turn it like this and just get the top part on and just roll it gently onto the rolling pin. All right, raise that up. Bring back over the pie. Okay. And just simply, just easily roll it on to the top. As you can see, just gently just roll it on and it will go directly on just like that. And that's it. All right. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to crimp up a little bit, take a good bit of the excess pie crust from the ends. That's why it's good to actually roll it out at least an inch more than the pie pan. Okay. Now you can do two different techniques with a situation like this. You can actually use the back of the fork and just press it in, or the typical normal way to that you will see the pie crust. You just take your two fingers and this finger right here, and you just crimp it in. So you just go like this, and you just crimp it in, and you go all around. Once you go all around, you'll get that nice pie finish. All right, so stay tuned. Once again, once I get it all crimped up, gonna instead of doing an egg wash, I'm just gonna spray a little butter flavored spray and then sprinkle it with some brown sugar. All right, I finished crimped it up on all sides, as you can see. I did a step right here, just cut a small little hole, and I just give like 4 slits on either side to give it for it to vent, because once it starts baking inside, it's going to puff up. So you need to actually leave it, just cut some slits into it so it can actually vent out and everything. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually now going to just lightly spray the top part right here, and just gently lightly coat it with sprinkle of brown sugar. Now the spray here is just basically just that it actually helps it to brown, and also for the sugar to adhere to it as well. All right, oops. So now what I have here, just have some lightly brown sugar, and I'm just gonna just sprinkle it around, so when you get each piece by this piece of that crust, you get a nice sweetness as well. All right, come on, apple pie is not supposed to be healthy. All right, so all around, just lightly dust it with some brown sugar, just like this, and at the ends part, so you also get those nice sweet taste as well. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to pop it into the oven right now, and don't worry, I will actually inform you how long it will take to actually bake. Again, everyone's oven is totally different. So for me, once it's finished, then I will let you know exactly how long it will take for baking this apple pie. All right, and especially with your homemade crust. All right, guys. Oh, just before, because of cutting off the ends and what have you, you will be left with some excess pie crust. If you like, you can definitely get creative. And what you can do, oops, right here, I had a piece there. You can actually maybe make some nice designs or nice strips, and you can place it onto your pie as well. That is totally, totally up to you. Remember, it's your kitchen. All right, guys. So now this will go into the oven, and I will let you know at the final how long it took for the baking time. All right, so guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Here it is. The apple pie with homemade crust has been completed. It took me about 55 to 60 minutes at 350 degrees in the oven. But yeah, this is the color that I am striving for. Perfect, perfect apple pie. So right now it's piping hot. Ooh. It is piping hot because I just took it out of the oven, but I will leave it set on the cooling rack for about another 15-20 minutes because it took a good while in the oven. And again, as you see, by doing the slit, it helps, for the apples, what's all inside can have a way to vent out. Okay, but once again, guys, this is my homemade apple pie crust. Of course, I bought the apple pie filling in the supermarket. They have, if you like, you can do it from scratch. If you like, you can buy the apple pie crust in the supermarket from that's pre-made also. It is up to you. Remember, it is always your kitchen. All right. So I'm going to leave this set here for about another 15-20 minutes and then get right into it. Once again, guys, I would love to thank you all for joining me with making whatever my mind decide to make. And I think next episode, I'm going to keep it as a surprise for a specific person. But I have two surprises for two specific people. But one asked me first, so the next segment will be for her. All right. So again, guys, for all of my followers, I thank you from Aruba, St. Martin, Curacao, Bonaire, Guyana, Suriname, Florida, Rhode Island, Memphis, Arkansas, California, Ohio, Oregon. I'm missing one. Tennessee. There we go. Tennessee. Also, as well as the oh, it's not coming to me. The Netherlands and also England. Guys, I thank you so much for joining me with another of my episodes. Please share and tag. Also with this video, please click on the notification bell and to subscribe for all of my upcoming recipes. Guys, I thank you so much. And I wish you all the best. Stay safe. Remember, stay safe. Be the best you can be in the kitchen because always remember, it's your kitchen. All right, guys, enjoy.